I swear to God, if these people don't keep calling me about, oh, we could pick you up and take you to the voters thing. No, I'm not about to get in no minivan with you and go vote with you. You could be taking me to the depths of hell. They crazy this election, y'all, and they won't leave me alone. Kamala, bitch, I'm going to vote for you. Just leave me the fuck alone.
I don't hear nobody out there. Hold it down.
Y'all, we're going to be done with this Eve book by the end of this week. It'll be either Friday or Saturday. We'll start our new book either Sunday or Monday. You paying members will already be informed before I release part 1 of the next book, right? But honey, this book was a mess. It wasn't a mess. It was just clean. Informative, but clean. Ciao. Anyway, let's get into it. Hello, love bugs. Hello, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and tip your favorite narrator via Cash App at $NAROB on YouTube. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, the Eve book. I don't know why I can never remember the name of this book. Who's That Girl? A memoir. Eve. Tambourine was released not even 2 weeks before, on April 17, 2007. And we shot the video to accompany the release. My label was in apathy mode, so I knew that our time together was ending, and I was bracing myself for possibly the worst professional breakup of my life. I was still on a constant bender, but on top of that, I'd been taking diet pills to lose weight so that I could look skinny in the Tambourine music video. Ain't that a mess? Let your ass be skinny now. Woo, they wear your ass out. But I'd like to give a shout out to Glorilla and Sexy Red for starting a new trend of not getting a BBL. Shout out to them. I'm hopped up on diet pills, liquor, and whatever else was available. And then my song dropped. Where did I celebrate? Teddy's. Okay, you know Teddy's is her favorite spot to show up with Juicy Couture and Uggs on. Okay, but she there, she's celebrating. Ooh, I'm about to release my new video. I'm like, yes, yeah, right? So she done told all the people that she wanted to come to the after party at her house to come on. Come on. When we get through here, Teddy's, you coming to my house and we gonna get busy. One of the people who she invited was Sean Penn. So anyway, let's not forget Sean Penn was a dude who got with Madonna, one of Spike Lee's best movies ever that you probably wouldn't know was Spike Lee, because you know sometimes Spike Lee ruined his own movies with the Spike Lee bush, but Son of Sam. And, you know, like pause, okay, put in the notes, what is your favorite Spike Lee movie? I would say his most dynamic was Son of Sam, and then, goddamn, the movie with all the kids in it. Damn. And they grew up in Brooklyn. So it would be Summer of Sam, Crooklyn, that's the name of the movie, Crooklyn, and of course, School Days. Some people love, you know, Malcolm X. It was powerful, but I just hate the way that Spike Lee adds his Spike Lee shit. Sean Penn has a problem with alcohol and his hands. Stop all that crying. I know you're like, Nay, why you ain't talking about nobody else? Because that Sean has significance. Hold tight. As I pulled out of Teddy's in my silver Maserati, I've always loved cars, with my two friends. I immediately realized that I was in no condition to drive, but I was stubborn, and I still peeled out onto the Hollywood Boulevard. After driving a little ways, I lost control of my car and crashed it into the center cement divider on the road. I even drove over the metal sign that warned you that the divider was approaching. Thank God no one was hurt. But my car was totaled. It was almost 3 a.m, so when the LAPD pulled up and saw me sitting there, drunk but alive, with the front of my car folded inward and no other cars around, they already knew what had happened. They handcuffed me, and that's when I saw the paparazzi come charging at us. The whole situation sobered me up a little. But then panic set in when a visitor abruptly came to the police station. It was Sean Penn again. He'd come to bail me out. Apparently, while he was waiting for me to get there for the after party, her cousin Takia, or friend girl, something like that, told him I was in jail. And then there he was at the police station, ready to bail me out of there. I politely told him to leave, and he thought I was insane for doing that. But in Eve's mind, this is the least that I need. I do not need this white man here bailing me out. Then before you know it, they be talking about I'm around here hunching on a white man. And he was the one who was responsible for getting me high. Because you know, Sean Penn got his issues with sobriety also. He has his issues, a lot of issues with drinking, okay? I mean, just Google it, child. It's right there. I thanked him and sent him home. Troy posted the $30,000 bail instead. I was charged with a DUI and later sentenced to probation, during which I had to attend AA meetings and wear an ankle monitor for 56 days. So in essence, I was forced into sobriety, child. That's what it takes. Those 56 days saved my life. I hadn't been sober in so long, and I hadn't really sat with my emotions in years. For the first time in a long time, I had to process what was going on in my life. After those 56 days, I was able to have a drink, but I was no longer in a constant state of chaos. I also learned how to manage my anxiety and face the next steps in my career head on. I knew that I had to start taking meetings and for the first time begin the process of advocating for myself. That meant I had to have a clear head, which meant I had to be sober. Now, she's going on to talk about the release of Lip Lock. Okay. I don't remember that song, Lip Lock, but, you know, kudos to her for still trying. It's almost midnight, and I'm sitting alone in a room at one of the smaller, more secluded Canadian border crossings in the backwoods of Vermont. And the Border Patrol thinks I'm a drug mule. At least that's how it looks. I mean, I showed up in a drop-top Bentley Continental with Florida license plates and 2 blonde girls. I don't know. Something happened to Eve. Like, I don't know. It was like 2 blonde girls. Did she mean 2 blonde white girls? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with Eve. We didn't look shady at all. There were only 2 guards on duty, and they had no computers to even scan our passports and register who we were at their location. That was the whole point. When the opportunity to ride in the Gumball 3000 rally came to me through a friend who worked in fashion, I was all in. The Gumball Rally is basically a rolling festival where car enthusiasts come through every summer and drive, not race, 3,000 miles across different locations around the world. It's like summer camp for people who love cars and adventure. Okay, so let me just say, I really thought that the Gumball race was a race. Like, do you remember that cartoon where these different characters would race around the world, and then it was always some kind of event happening at each location? What the hell is that cartoon named? So anyway, it had Dick Dastardly, Penelope Pitstop, Muttley, Peter Perfect, Rock Slag, the Hooded Claw, Professor Pat, and the name of the cartoon was called The Wacky Races. When the opportunity to ride in the Gumball 3000 rally came to me through a friend who worked in fashion, I was all in. The Gumball 3000 rally is basically a rolling festival where car enthusiasts come together every summer, drive, not race, 3,000 miles across different locations around the world. It's like summer camp for people who love cars and adventure. I've always loved both, so the idea of driving 3,000 miles over 7 days in a supercar was so exciting. Plus, the 2010 rally started in London and jumped across the pond to end in New York. How cool is that? I've always had this suspicion that all British men think that they're James Bond. Though once I met Maximillion Cooper, I kind of believed that he might be. Max founded Gumball in 1999 and had been doing these annual rallies ever since. It was supposed to be a smooth ride, metamorphically and physically, but that came to an end when I was stopped at the American border heading into Quebec. It was all thanks to my damn DUI from 3 years earlier. When traveling to either Canada and Australia, I had to come with a letter attached to my passport acknowledging my DUI and showing that my charges were expunged, which would grant me a cross into the country. To this day, I still need to show a current letter when I reach Canada or Australia. After my Teddy's incident, I had received that letter acknowledging my expungement, but it had expired. So when I first tried to get into Canada at a larger border crossing, my passport scan reflected that I had a DUI and I was pulled over by the patrol. I was in the car with Aaron and our friend who brought me into the rally as we watched every other car in the Gumball car line peel past us. When Max approached the border, he saw us stranded there and pulled over. He asked the guards what was the problem. He called the chief of police in Quebec. How does he know these people, I thought. He came back to my car and said, okay, you're going to have to go a different way. I'm going to find you the route. It required using a map, a physical map. Girl, don't act like you ain't never used a fucking map before. What the hell, you old enough to know MapQuest? But since this particular border crossing was small and buried deep in the woods of Vermont, it had no computers to scan my passport with. That meant that they couldn't register my DUI or the letter that was supposed to be attached. As we crossed the border in torrential rain at nearly 3 o'clock in the morning, the first person I saw on the other side was Max, my James Bond. He was smiling, knowing he had basically done the impossible, as I thought to myself, who are you? Before Max and I met, I decided that my casual dating days were over. For years, I had been on this roller coaster ride of connections that lacked any real meaning for me. I moved like a guy, which you could call the result of trauma from my past relationships. but which I call emotional survival. It was tiring trying to make relationships out of situations that were never going to be significant to begin with. Meanwhile, Max thought his dating days were just starting. He was newly divorced after nearly 8 years of marriage. He really thought he was stepping into his player era, and a new commitment was the furthest thing from his mind. Then we met, and it was game over for the both of us.
Hollywood, lovely one.